Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
What are your responsibilities?
I'll keep you if any of the crew has important business to discuss.
Isn't that the type of task
Yeah,
better?
everyone. I have a degree in psychology. I'm good at sensing when people are over.
You make sure the crew
Yes.
is meant.
I look for warning signs. I listen.
We're
It's
lucky
not-
to have someone with your
Thank you,
skills.
Shep. What else would you like to know?
How do you feel about being assigned?
How do I feel? But mostly I feel encouraged. Under your leadership, we can.
Don't worry. We'll defeat the collectors.
I trust you implicitly. The moment I met you, I knew I could close my eyes, fall back, and you'd be there.
I might do more than catch you, Kelly.
Now that's an enticing thought. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
This organization has a dark reputation. Do you have any concerns working for them?
Not at all. Our methods can be harsh, but Cerberus has noble objectives. We look out for human interests, advance human technology, save human lives. They're good goals.
Sounds like Cerberus wants to dominate all aliens and put humankind on top.
Cerberus looks out for humanity, but that doesn't mean we hate aliens. My sister started a dog shelter, but she loved cats too. I love humanity. I also love Asari, Quarian, Turian, Solarian, Hanar. That isn't in conflict with Cerberus ideals.
That's a very positive attitude.
What can I say? I'm a people person. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
I better go.
Okay. No messages for you, Commander.
Shepard.
We need to stay out of the sunlight.
I'll stand to buy the others time. Anyone who gets this, find Talizora. She and that data are all that matters. Kill us alive.
This dropship incoming! Firing an impact
Taking
shot!
cover!
On my way.
Be right there.
Up to you.
Be right there. This is valuable. With you.
Loud and clear.
You bet.
Loud and clear.
Squad leader Killraker doing copy. The guest sent a dropship towards up 2. Talizora secure. What we need backup. Up 1, this is squad leader Killraker. Come in. Over.
This is Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I'm afraid I don't see any Quarian survivors here.
Wait. Shepard. Patch your radio into channel 617. Got us pinned down. Can't get to our ship. Can't transmit data through the solar radiation.
How are you
Take
holding
it
up?
slow and careful. Hunker down a base. Tally out safely is our top priority.
Hold position.
Wait,
We'll
watch
hit
your
the...
ass. We gotta drop. Crap, doorway's blocked. Grab the demo charges in the buildings nearby. Use them to clear a path.
Demolition charges to break convention.
Put it on my radar.
From above. Firing concussive shot.
We need a core sample to get a timeline on the rate of radiation increase, but our equipment keeps dying on us. Shepard once used a mining laser to clear some rubble back on Therum. Maybe I can do something similar with demolition charges.
Watch out!
Sit down.
Deploying tech overload.
Hell yeah. Nice.
We're taking fire down here. If we head left, we can flank them.
He goes.
Understood.
Got your back.
It's next to impossible to get accurate solar measurements. The radiation keeps burning out our equipment.
Gotcha.
Be right there.
This should do it. I recommend we move clear. Ah! With you!
On my way.
What's this? These buildings are Quarian.
Our ancestors walked these halls with uncovered heads. The sun must have been normal back then. So much space, walls of stone. It's amazing. I wish my friends could see it. I wish Shepard were here. Tali's order to base camp. Come in base camp. Tali's order to base camp. Come in base camp. Hello? Is anyone there?
Tally, it's Shepard. I'm sorry. Everyone here is dead. Any survivors must have fallen back.
We knew this mission was high risk. Damn it. And what are you doing here, Shepard? We're in the middle of Geth space.
I was in the neighborhood. I thought you might need a hand.
Thanks for coming, Shepard. It means a lot to hear your voice. Call Rieger and what's left of the Marines got me into the observatory. From where you are, it's through the door and across the field. I got to the data I needed and I'm safe for now, but I've got a lot of Geth outside.
It looks like somebody sealed the door against the Geth, and the console's damaged. Can you get it open on your end?
Let me see. Yes, I can do it. Here. Should be unlocked now. Be careful, Shepard, and please do what you can to keep Rieger alive.
We're compromised! Looks like the drones have an optical camouflage system.
Hell yeah! Anyone else? Nice. Hell of a shot. Hell yeah.
Here goes! Nice!
That's
Be right there! There we go! Nice! shields!
Son of a bitch! Move!
Get down! This could be a problem.
Enemies in front.
Over here! Get to cover! Squad Leader Cal Rieger, Migrant Fleet Marines. We talked on the radio before that dropship arrived. I still got no idea why you're here. This ain't the time to be picky. Tally's inside over there. The Geth killed the rest of my squad, and they're trying to get to her. Best I've been able to do is draw their attention.
How many Geth are out there?
Geth are near. I can't get a clear shot while it's down like that. I tried to move in close.
Any ideas on how...
So whatever we do has to scrap that bastard fast.
How bad is your suit?
Geth might get me, but I'm not gonna...
What can you tell me?
The left gives you some cover from the...
We need to get to Tally. Got any ideas?
Just one! I'm not moving so well, but I can still pull a trigger, and I got a rocket launcher that the sun hasn't fried yet. You move in close. I'll keep the Colossus busy, maybe even drop its shields. With luck, you'll be able to finish it off.
You've done enough, Rieger. You don't need to throw your life away.
Wasn't asking your permission. My job is to keep Tally safe.
We don't have enough people on our side for you to take one for the team. Stand down.
I'm not gonna stand there while you run into enemy fire. They killed my whole squad.
And if you want to honor your squad, watch my back. I need you here in case they bring reinforcements.
All right, Shepard. We'll do it your way. Hit him for me. Keep us alive.
Heads up. behind you.
After you.
You got it. shield!
Who's next? Move in close. I'll keep the Colossus busy. Wasn't asking your permission. My job is to keep Tally safe.
We don't have enough people on our side for you to take one for the team. Stand down! I've seen it.
Got it.
Going to cover!
Moving to cover.
Taking cover! Heading to cover! Night, night.
Going to cover.
Going to cover! Taking heavy fire!
Going now.
You bet!
Got it.
Going to cover!
Concussive shot! Anyone else want some? After you.
With you!
Just a second. I locked the door to keep more Geth from getting inside. There, that should do it.
Nice job. Now get to Tally. I'll just be a minute.
Just let me finish this download. Thank you, Shepard. If not for you, I would never have made it out of this room. This whole mission has been a disaster. I wish I'd joined you back on Freedom's Progress, but I couldn't let anyone take my place on something this risky.
What can you tell me about your research here?
Haystrom's sun is destabilizing. Back when this was a Quarian colony, it was a normal star. It shouldn't change that quickly.
What's destabilizing the sun?
If I had to guess, I'd say that it was dark energy affecting the interior of the star. The effect is similar to when stars blow off mass to enter a red giant phase, but Haystrom's sun is far too young for this to be natural.
It looks like I just saved your mission. Maybe now your people will let me steal you from my mission.
Just let me transmit the data from a secure channel. Then I can leave with you. And if the admirals have a problem with it, they can go to hell. I just watched the rest of my team die.
Maybe not the whole rest of your team, ma'am.
Rieger, you made it.
Your old captain's as good as you said. Damn Colossus never stood a chance.
Tally's coming with me. I hope that's not a problem.
Not as long as it's her choice.
It is. Thank you, Rieger.
I'll pass the data to the Admiralty board and let them know what happened. She's all yours now, Shepard. Keep her safe.
Cerberus saw footage of you in action, Talizora. We're looking forward to having you on the team. Your engineering expertise will really benefit the mission.
I don't know who you are, but Cerberus threatened the security of the migrant fleet. Don't make nice.
That's why you're here, Tally. I need people who aren't Cerberus. People I can trust.
I wasn't part of what happened to the migrant fleet, but I understand your distrust. I hope we'll get past that as we work together.
I assumed that you were undercover, Shepard. Maybe even planning to blow Cerberus up. If that's the case, I'll loan you a grenade. Otherwise, I'm here for you, not for them.
If it helps, check out the Normandy while you're here. We've gotten a few upgrades.
I'll get Talizora the necessary security clearance to access our systems.
Please do. I can't be part of your team if I don't know how the ship works. Remember, Shepard, these people fought enslaving Thorian creepers.
Don't forget to introduce yourself to Edie, the ship's new artificial intelligence.
You were very open with me. I like that. But I hope I didn't come across as too flirty. I don't want to overstep my bounds.
Be yourself, Kelly. We don't need military protocol getting in the way.
I agree completely. Anyway, how may I help you, Commander?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later. Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
What can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
We didn't really have time to chat while taking out Geth on Haystrom, did we? I can't believe so many people died. Thank you again for getting Rieger out alive. All for data about stars blowing up. I hope the Admiralty Board gets some use out of it.
Have you heard any word about Cal Rieger? Did he survive his injuries?
He sent me a message. It looks like he'll make a full recovery. Anytime you get a suit puncture, it's a matter of luck. Rieger got out with a relatively minor infection.
Any news yet on the data you sent?
I'm not likely to hear anything for a while, or on an unsecured channel for that matter.
Tell me about the fleet's Admiralty Board.
It's one of two major political powers among my people. The admirals make decisions related to defense or needing immediate action. They also handle major criminal charges, like treason. The other political power is the Conclave, a group of representatives from each ship. They make most of our laws and fleet decisions.
Having any trouble settling back in on the Normandy?
I like the quiet. I miss the old faces, though. Presley, Engineer Adams, all of them. It doesn't seem right having Cerberus in charge of this ship. Are you sure working for them is the right thing to do?
I caught some tension back on Freedom's Progress and again when you first came aboard. What happened between Cerberus and the Quarians?
They attacked one of our ships, the Idena. It seems they were attempting to kill or control a young human biotic who was on the fleet. I don't really know the details. I do know that Cerberus made an enemy of the Quarian people.
Does it look like they're pulling the strings, Tally? I'm not working for them. They're working for me.
So you ordered the listening devices and tracking beacons that are all over this ship. I know you need resources to fight the Collectors, but be careful, Shepard.
I fully expect them to betray us at some point, and we'll be ready.
I'm glad to hear that, Shepard. Just let me know how I can help. For now, I should get back to work. Thanks for coming by.
That scunner couldn't serve a good haggis if his life depended on it.
But all haggis taste like ass.
Aye, in the right hands, it can taste like mighty flesh.
Commander, what can I do?
Do you have a minute?
Of course. Frankly, based on what I've seen, I wish Cerberus had recruited you earlier.
With your intelligence...
Because I still envy the time Morden spent with the Special Tasks Group, working with people as smart as he was. Cerberus never tells me that something is impossible. They give me my resources and say do it. And they've given you even more. A new life, a new ship, the elusive man's personal attention.
The best thing he did was to put you on my squad.
You'd have done fine without me. I may not have, but I don't have what you do.
Does it always have to come back to your father's genetic tailoring?
This is what I am, Shepard. I can't hide it. The intelligent. Every one of your accomplishments is due to your skill.
That's a tough feeling
we can
to
hope.
live with.
Thanks.
Shepard, need me
Humans don't deal with stress the way Turians do.
How did Turian crew?
Turian ships have training room. This recon scout and I had been at each other.
I assume you took her down, Jen.
We ended up holding a tiebreaker in her quarters. I had reached.
I thought you'd be used to high-risk operations.
Sure, but this time we've got Miranda and Cerberus and that AI all telling us what we're up against. I think I preferred blind optimism.
Do you ever regret leaving Caesar?
Not for a minute. When it comes down to it, Shepard, I don't think I'm a very good Turian. When a good Turian hears a I just don't see the point in staying quiet and polite.
Honestly, Garrus.
Honestly, but an unmapped area, advanced technology, and the collectors. We're going to lose people. No way around that. Not a happy analysis, I know. Don't worry. I won't spread it around. And I'm with you regardless.
Thanks for the talk, Garrus.
Sure thing.
To check in.
I am always happy to talk with you.
I'm interested in hearing more about us.
Young Assam, some Asari are uncomfortable with us. But so few Justicars exist.
What role do you
I would
think
say that the closest human equivalent, perhaps mixed with a bit of samurai.
What does your code say about killing?
I am compelled to kill the wicked. If a Justicar is involved, peaceful solutions are long past.
I should go.
I'm glad we spoke.
Few minutes to talk?
Certainly.
What made you decide to become an assassin?
I was asked to become one. The Hammer trained my body for this role since I was 6 years old.
You've been killing since you were 6?
Of course not. I didn't make my first kill until they were training me. I was not to be used and thrown away. I was an investment.
Why did your parents agree to this?
The agreement was made under the Compact.
The Compact?
We live on the Hammer homeworld because they rescued us. Some of us from extinction. We owe them our lives. That is the Compact.
Why was your race going extinct?
Overpopulation. That must sound trite to you. Humans developed Mass Effect drive before the problem became acute. Our homeworld, Rakana, had few resources. We hadn't even developed fusion power when the soil began to fail from overuse and pollution. The Hanar found us a century ago. They sent hundreds of ships, evacuated thousands of us. Billions more had to be left behind.
What's the state of Rakana now?
Do you read your philosophers? A man named Thomas Hobbes. When all the world is overcharged with inhabitants, and the last remedy of all is war, which provideth for every man by victory or death. As Rakana died around them, my people slaughtered each other for mouthfuls of water, crumbs of food.
What exactly are the terms of the Compact?
There are many things the Hanar can't do, even with mechanical aid. They ask Drell to assist them.
The way you describe it, the Hanar sound like weaklings.
Out here, they are. But if you could see them in the encompassing, the oceans of Kaje, you would see them differently. The stream of silver in the dark, looping, diving. So fast the eye can't follow. Laughter like the squeals of a child fly against the water. They fly over the back of the seabed like birds, plumed with the light of heaven.
This can't be legal. They made your whole race into slaves.
Don't insult me, Shepard. Anyone can refuse to serve. Few do. We owe our existence to the Hanar. We are proud to repay the debt.
But you don't kill for the Hanar anymore. You're freelance. What changed?
I was asleep for a long time, yes. I paid no attention to what my body was asked to do, but then... a laser dot trembles on his skull. One finger twitch, he dies. Then, the smell of spice on the spring wind. Sunset-colored eyes defiant in the scope. The laser dances away. My apologies. Drell slip into memory so easily.
Was that one of your assassinations?
Yes. Perhaps we can discuss it later. I've wasted too much of your time.
minute? I really appreciate your help with the Hawk heist. I've been going through Keiichi's gray box. It's so nice to have him back. Even in that form, I miss him. Liara Tassoni's got quite a reputation. I've done business with her people before. I hear you and she were an item before. I bet it was hard running into her again after all this time. My heart goes out to Miranda and her sister. That's a rough situation.
This area of the ship.
This is the commanding officer's quarters.
It's larger than the quarters of other warships I've served on.
This is a Cerberus vessel, not an Alliance warship. Accommodations have been made for personal taste. That said, this space is directly under the exterior pressure hull. The fitting yard workers called it the loft.
Shepard, ready for anything. We live, we'll get loud and spill some drinks on the Citadel.
We'll talk later.
Commander.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Actually, wanted to talk. Medical matters. Aware that mission is dangerous. Different species react differently to stress. Aware you come by a great deal. Have had other species become attracted to me before. Awkward. Not interested.
I don't feel that way about you either, Morden. But thank you for bringing it up.
Good. Appreciate clarification. Cross-species body language. Awkward. Movements of your lower eyelids suggestive by Solarian standards. Glad you stopped by. Cleared the air.
Great to see Tali on board, Commander, just like old times. It is her, right? I mean, because with the mask, it's... never mind.
I assume everything's going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
any chance forward a questionable shipping note to Mr. Thax?
That depends on who's asking.
My intentions are peaceful, and I'll take that as a yes. I'm a representative for Mr. Thax. He's very grateful to you. Please accept this as a gift for bringing the shipping irregularities to his attention.
What happens to the shipping agent who was cheating Thax?
That depends on how sincere her apology is, and how willing she is to correct a mistake.
Do you want help finding the person who cheated Thax?
Thank you, but that won't be necessary. Mr. Thax will be making a series of polite calls. Hopefully a confrontation will not be required.
It was my pleasure.
Have a pleasant day.
Ever set foot here. Ilium doesn't allow the flotilla to approach beyond a certain distance. This is the greatest planet in the galaxy for those who can afford it, and they work hard to keep the Quarian fleet...
If this is the best you have, I'll make do. But you're certain the neural stimulators are compatible with both my suit and Asari physiology?
Nixeris dead, it could be years before I track the Shadow Broker down. But someday he'll slip up, and I'll be there.
I'll talk to you later, Liara.
Shepard. So, what can I do for you?
I know you're looking for the Shadow Broker. Cerberus gave me data on where to find him. Interested?
Absolutely. I had no idea. Let me see what you've got. It looks like a leaked transmission between Shadow Broker operatives. Some hints as to the location, and... it's about Farron. He's still alive.
Who's Farron?
He was a friend. He helped me recover your body from the Shadow Broker.
Why did the Shadow Broker want my corpse?
He was going to sell you to the Collectors, but Farron and I stopped him. Farron sacrificed himself to save me.
So, you rescued me. Then how did I end up with Cerberus?
Well, they gave me intel to help recover you. They actually put Farron with me in the first place. After I got out, I gave you to them. They said they could bring you back.
You kept me out of the Collector's hands. Without you, I couldn't have come back. Thank you.
You don't know what that means to me, Shepard. I didn't know who you'd be when you came back. If you'd feel. They brought you back, and now they're giving me a chance to find Farron. After 2 years, I hadn't even dreamed.
Sounds like you and Farron were close.
It's funny. He betrayed me more than once. He was double-dealing for Cerberus, for the Shadow Broker. But in the end, he sacrificed himself for me. I owe him.
If he's been the Shadow Broker's prisoner for 2 years, he may not be in good shape.
I know. But yesterday, all I wanted was the chance to avenge his death. Today, he's alive. I'll do whatever I have to do to get him back.
Any friend of yours is a friend of mine. What's the next step?
I don't know. I need to prepare, to think. I'm going home. Use my terminal if you need any local intel.
You okay?
I've spent 2 years plotting revenge. Now I have the chance to make it a rescue.
Let me help. I'll come by your apartment.
Okay. Hopefully I'll have a plan by then. Thank you, Shepard.
A Batarian trading group has announced plans to sue the Citadel Council. The Batarians claim that slavery is an inextricable part of their caste system, and that by limiting the slave trade, the Council is violating their cultural rights. The indentured servitude market closed down 3 points, with representatives decrying the unwanted controversy.
You'll never believe. Thank you again. You have no idea what this means to my family.
Hey, I gotta get back to work.
Another difficult development for human expansion as the colony on Horizon has been attacked. The Council is pledged to investigate the matter.
For example, you know that new drug, the one that causes permanent neural scarring?
Okay, listen, give Fax a full refund, do you hear me? He knows, I don't know how, it doesn't matter. Credit him a full refund now. And then get your ass someplace safe. Leave me alone. I can't talk to anybody.
Seal off those trace samples and get them back to the lab.
We got multiple shots fired. Yeah, techs are going over the place now.
Central, we got an open carrier on this end. Switching to a coded relay.
What's going on?
This area is sealed off. Please step back, ma'am.
Sealed off? Why?
Someone tried to kill your friend, Commander Shepard. Thank you, officer. Your people are dismissed.
You can't do that.
Already done. Tila Vasir, Special Tactics and Recon.
A Spectre?
I heard you weren't reinstated. Too bad. You did good work. So, I assume you had business with your friend this evening, Commander.
Liara was following a lead on the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker? Dangerous enemy to have.
Did the police find anything when they arrived?
Just the mess and the bullet holes. I gave them a gold star for finding the bullet holes.
If Liara isn't here, where is she?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be sifting through her crap. There's no blood, no body. It looks like Tassoni got away. The sniper didn't plan on her kinetic barrier. Clever girl. Paranoid, but clever.
What are the facts so far?
About 25 minutes ago, someone took a shot at Tassoni. Note the bullet holes. She stuck around for almost 4 minutes before leaving the building. Whatever she was doing was important.
What did you find on Liara's terminal?
Not much. She wiped her drive before she left.
Liara knew I was coming. She'd have made a backup of whatever she found.
Makes sense. Haven't found it yet, though. You knew Tassoni better than I do. Where would she have hidden her backups?
Let me take a look around.
The rifle used to do that wasn't standard issue. The kinetic barrier deflected the shots. They still managed to penetrate the glass.
It's part of my old armor.
Looks like someone didn't like you much either.
A doctorate from the University of Ceres, Avanthesia. She's getting good use out of all that education. Yeah, that's not the Asari homeworld. I'm not sure what planet that is.
It's Ilos.
The picture changed when you touched it. It must be keyed to your ID. What does it show now?
It's a Prothean dig site. Liara did leave a message.
There are a few Prothean-looking objects around the apartment. Let's see what we can find.
Those things must be worth a fortune.
Don't worry, Commander. We'll find her.
Basir, I've got something here.
Backup disk. Let's try it on her terminal. It looks like she recorded a call.
What have you got for me, Sagat?
It was tricky, but you paid for the best. I can narrow it down to a cluster, maybe even a system.
How soon can you have it?
Shouldn't take long. Come to my office. Barrier Frontiers in the Dracon Trade Center. Gotta say though to Sony, you're making me a little nervous. How big is the trouble that could come out of this?
Relax, Sagat. I'll see you in a few hours.
Sounds like Liara found something big on the Shadow Broker.
And then someone found her. I know where the Dracon Trade Center is. My car's outside.
Let's go.
The Barrier Frontiers offices are located on the 3rd floor. I don't hear police chatter. We must have missed the party.
Liara's in there!
They just took out 3 floors to make sure she's dead. I'll grab this guy car and seal off the building from the top.
I'll start down here and work my way up.
Just leave some for me.
The blast knocked me off my feet.
What happened?
Was it a bomb? What happened?
Who are you? What's going on? God, what's happening?
Please exit the building in an orderly fashion. Emergency power engaged.
Basir, the elevators are out and building security is down.
No alarms, no police.
Serving industry for over 120 years, the Renegade Trade Center takes
Bavaria Frontier employee. Looks like he got caught in the explosion.
I wouldn't take any bets on Sony's informant surviving that blast.
Got it.
I'm on it!
Casualty here. Looks like he's got bullet wounds. Watch yourself, Azir. They used military-grade hardware.
Bullet wounds. Guess this was more than just an explosion.
Life isn't about arriving. It's about the ride along the way. At Nizo, every vehicle is an island of style and an engine for freedom. Nizo Transportation. Enjoy the ride. Exolar Shipping is the leading industry authority on resource logistics and management. We are committed to providing clients with secure, affordable, and
Azir, I found a military-grade explosive device. It hasn't been armed.
Sloppy work. You use that kind of hardware when you don't have time to plan.
Azir, I'm at the Bavaria Frontier's office. Liara signed in just a few minutes ago.
Understood, Commander.
welcome to Barrier Frontiers. Let us be your guide to limitless progress.
I'm with you. Punch through their armor.
Ready to fight.
I'm pinned down! Mark! They're well armed!
Say hello to the Shadow Broker's private army, Commander.
Nothing faster than fatigue of us pods.
Never saw me coming!
Allied fire!
This should slow him down. Branch one! Hostiles on ahead!
Got it.
On my way. Watch for drones. Affirmative. You got it.
With you, Shepard.
Vizier, these damaged pipes are on fire. Got it. Should be clear now.
Good. I'm on my way down.
I'm on it.
On it. We've got trouble.
Never saw me coming.
Right.
On my way.
This might be useful.
Damn it. If I'd have been a few seconds faster, I could have stopped them.
Is this the cat?
Must have been.
No sign of that data Liara talked about. Looks like a dead end.
Speaking of which, did you find your friend's body?
You mean this body?
Liara? Something I should know?
This is the woman who tried to kill me.
You've had a rough day, so I'll let that slide. Why don't you put that gun down?
I saw you. I doubled back after I left.
I watched you break into my apartment.
So what? You were just using me to find the message?
Nothing personal, Shepard. Just needed a little help tracking down Liara.
Once she had my location, she signaled the Shadow Broker's forces. They bombed the building to take me out. She found Zakat, took his data, and killed him. I'm guessing she's still got the disc on her.
Good guess. Not that you'll ever see what's on it. You pure blood bitch!
Weapons ready.
I'm on it!
Combat thrown
Coming.
away!
She's getting away!
Get ready to fight.
I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
Come on, she's getting away.
There she is. Hang right. No, wait, left.
I'm on her.
Hang left. She's around the corner. We're not going into the construction site, are? Of course. I'm not letting her escape with that data. Go, 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 go!
I'm going!
Traffic! Oncoming traffic!
We'll be fine.
She's dropping proximity charges.
I noticed. You okay?
Still better than the Mako.
I know. There we go.
You're enjoying this. A head-on collision at this speed.
Yeah, I hear those could be bad for you.
Truck!
Again?
Watch out.
Get me some damn backup.
Watch out! They're dropping reinforcements. There's Vizier's car. Come on, she can't have gotten far. Watch out! They're dropping reinforcements in to slow us down. Neutralize the drone.
Right behind you.
Come on. We can climb over to get to Vizier's car. Just like old times.
This should come in handy.
Hey, we're unarmed. We didn't see anything.
What kind of hotel is this?
Azure. It's a luxury resort with an exotic edge. Azure is slang for a part of the Asari body in some areas of Ilium.
Where?
Mainly the lower reaches, near the bottom.
I meant, where on the Asari body?
So did I. She's lost a lot of blood. We have to be getting close.
She's tough, I'll give her that much.
She's a Spectre. Vizier, it's over.
Hey! Hey, you! Come here. What's your name?
Mariana.
Mariana. You want to live, don't you? Tell those people that you want to live.
Please.
Vizier, you don't need to do this.
All you had to do was walk away. Now it gets ugly.
Please, I have a son.
A son? I hope he gets to see you again. I've heard losing a parent is just horrific for children. Scars them for life.
I'm going to end you, Vizier.
It's okay, Liara. We'll handle it. The usual way.
You want Mariana's little boy to grow up without a mommy, Shepard? Thermal clips on the ground now. Power cells too.
Hiding behind a hostage, Vizier. No stomach for a real fight. Just like an Asari.
Drop the thermal clips, Shepard.
You girls should really just stick to dancing. You know, play to your strengths.
Drop the clips.
I'm gonna kill your hostage, Vizier. And then I'm gonna show you how a real Spectre gets things done.
You're bluffing.
Now, Leo. You've been spotted.
Combat drone away!
Shield to fail.
This should slow them down.
Combat drone ready!
Enemies incoming.
Hostile drone!
Send them flying.
Miss me?
Friendly fire!
They got shockwave. We've got trouble. Neutralize the drone.
Miss me?
Go get him, Patricia! Let's go!
foe. Friendly fire!
Nothing faster than fatigue upon the clock.
Shockwave, take cover. Shockwave, take cover. Straight out.
This should soften him up.
Taking heavy fire!
Ah! Damn it! Damn it! Zakat's personal data pad. This has what we need to find the Shadow Broker. You're dead. The Shadow Broker has been in power for decades. He's stronger than anything you've ever faced.
Is that why you sold out the Council to work for him?
You think I betrayed the Council? Like Saren? Go to hell. The Broker's given me damn good intel over the years. Intel that saved lives and kept the Citadel safe. So if the Broker needs a few people to disappear, I'll pay that price without hesitation.
Tell yourself whatever you like. The Council would never accept you working for the Shadow Broker.
The Council? You ditched them, played dead for 2 years, and came back working for terrorists. You have any idea what Cerberus has done?
I know who they are and what they've done. It doesn't matter.
I think it does. You want to judge me? Look in the mirror. Kidnapping kids for biotic death camps? Killing Alliance admirals who ask questions. And you're with them. Don't you dare judge me. Don't you?
Eliminate Sony and retrieve the data. Civilian casualties not a concern.
Vazir's dead.
I'm putting the data through to the Normandy's computers. We can be at the Shadow Broker's base in a few hours. He'll know about Vazir before long. If he decides to kill Farron.
We'll get Farron out of there alive, Liara. I promise.
I know. You're here to help. Just like always.
That's not a good thing.
When we first met on Therum, you saved me from the Geth. You fought a Krogan battlemaster while I cowered. Now you're doing it again. And I'm still leaning on you for help.
That's what friends do, Liara.
I can get us there based on Zakat's data. The Normandy's stealth drive will keep them from detecting us. The Shadow Broker's agents are still shooting their way through Ilium. With luck, they won't notice we've left until it's too late.
It's a little cold. They killed innocent people.
You know what I mean.
Do I? When I hit the ground back at the trade center, you went after Vazir without a backward look.
A little fall wasn't going to kill you. I had to stay on Vazir. I had to stay rational, make the call, like I did with Zakat.
That's Vazir's fault, not yours.
Zakat had no idea what the stakes were. I put him in harm's way to get the data I needed. I got him killed. And I'd do it again. But from here on out, things will be simple. Get in, get Farron, get out. And kill anyone who tries to stop us.
That's it?
That's it.
Sounds like a plan.
oil during the day, then snap freeze 10 minutes after sundown.
The Shadow Broker lives in this?
His ship follows the sunset, completely undetectable in the storm, unless you know where to look.
How do we get inside?
The shuttle bay is locked down. We'll need to land on the ship and hunt for a hatch. Can't stay outside for long. There's a constant lightning storm where the hot and cold air collide. Lightning, but I'm picking up signals from a communications array near the back of the ship. There's nothing below but maintenance equipment. We have to find an entrance near the back shielding. Maintenance drones.
Why are they attacking?
They must think we're debris from the storm. Discharge built up lightning.
Thanks for the tip.
Shepard, try firing at the capacitors.
I'll crush them!
Flashbang! incredible. It must have taken decades to build in secret.
I wonder what happened to the contractors.
I think we can guess. Navigating this storm is brutal. If the ship's engines stop, even for a moment, at least the Shadow Broker would go down with us.
That's comforting.
is on a rail. Do you see a switch?
Not even a guardrail. I bet the broker's agents love patrolling the hull.
At least the view is nice. There! That hatch leads directly to the communication signals. It's locked. Hang on, I've got a bypass shunt program that can crack it.
How long will it take?
I don't know, Shepard. I've never broken into the Shadow Broker's base before. Well, not this one anyway.
He goes. You sure that shunt is working?
It's illegal even on Ilium. It didn't come with a warranty.
You tested it, right?
Here come more of them.
Tell me you tested it.
No time to talk.
On the floor.
Shield your eyes. I'll set them flying. I'm sure it won't be much longer.
Remember the old days when you could just slap Omnigel on everything?
That security upgrade made a lot of people unhappy. Look out, more on the way.
Be right there.
Right. They'd be more effective if they all attacked at once.
Please don't give the mercs ideas.
Enemy bionics on the field.
Need assistance.
The next wave looks like a big one.
You just had to give them tactical advice.
But now there'll be fewer left to deal with inside.
Yeah, keep dreaming, Sony.
Shield your eyes. Watch the Atari.
Heavy weapon.
How many guards do the Shadow Broker have?
Hold your positions no matter the cost.
I'm moving right behind you.
You got it! Have you
I've downloaded the ship's layout. We're headed toward the prison block. And Farron.
Right behind you.
I'm on it.
Be right there.
Charge of neurotics. Hold on. We're getting you out of here.
No.
Farron.
What the hell is the broker trying to do to you?
The equipment is sensitive to tampering. This chair plugs into the broker's info network. You have to shut off the power. Pull me out now and my brain cooks.
Do you know where we can cut the power?
It won't be easy. You'll have to go to Central Operations.
What's the point of this cage?
I don't...
It's a neural grounding rod. The medical equipment is to make sure he doesn't expire. We have to shut this place down.
Where did the broker get the mercs?
Raised his own private force. They're completely lost.
Shepard, we really don't have the time.
What do you know about the broker?
He did this to me.
I was hoping you'd know what he is.
I never got a good look, but he's big. The guards are terrified of him.
A Krogan?
I don't know, but not everyone who visits his office comes back out.
If he left you alive for us to find, the broker has no idea how dangerous we are.
Don't underestimate him. He prepares for everything. Central Operations is down the hall. You know the Shadow Broker's waiting for you, right?
I'm counting on it.
We'll be back for you, Farron.
I'll try not to go anywhere.
I want all teams to Outpost C.
Get it on the west. Paint the marks.
Watch it!
Shield your eyes.
Wasn't exactly subtle.
Extreme, but necessary.
No, it wasn't. Neither was caging Farron for 2 years.
Dr. Tassoni, your interference caused all this. Farron betrayed me when he handed you Shepard's body. The Drell is simply paying the price.
Someone was bound to come after you for working with the Collectors.
It was a mutually beneficial partnership. Your arrival is convenient. The Collector's offer still stands.
It'll be pretty hard to run a base this size with no crew.
They're replaceable. Your arrival is barely an interruption. Enough talk. My operations are too crucial to be compromised by a traitor.
You're quite confident for someone with nowhere left to hide.
You travel with fascinating companions, Doctor. At least you brought me both Shepard and Ms. Lawson Tassoni. Their deaths will cripple Cerberus.
You're not putting a hand on anyone.
It's pointless to challenge me, Asari. I know your every secret, while you fumble in the dark.
Is that right? You're a Yogg, a pre-spaceflight species quarantined to their homeworld from massacring the Council's first contact teams. This base is older than your planet's discovery. Which probably means you killed the original Shadow Brokers 60 years ago, then took over. I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing? Shield's kinetically sensitive. Energy and projectiles are bouncing off.
Then we do this the hard way.
Hit him now! There they are. This should slow them down.
you can get him to bring up that shield again, I've got an idea.
Resume standard procedures.
I want a status report on all operations within the next solar day.
Shadow Broker, out.
Goddess of Oceans, it's you. How?
Well, everyone who's ever seen him in person is dead, so...
You're the new Shadow Broker.
Is taking over as the Shadow Broker really a good idea?
It was either that or lose everything. His contacts, his trading sources, those will really help us. With the Shadow Broker's information network, I can give you...
I'll check the power systems.
It's over. It's finally. For 2 years.
It's all right.
It's been 2 years. I don't... We're different people. You have your mission and... Okay. But we should focus. Let's see what our options are. No safeguards or user restrictions. It's like he never anticipated anyone but himself being here. And it's all ours.
What kind of information are we talking about?
I'm not sure. I'll need to go through his files. Come back later and I'll try to have something useful for you. All I wanted was to rescue Farron, but is it wrong that part of me wants this? With the Shadow Broker's network, I can help you. Maybe I can turn this operation into something better.
Don't be a stranger this time.
Small chance of that. Come back soon.
Shepard, it's so good to see you. I've set up a few terminals with information I think you'll find interesting. Take a look.
Welcome back, Shadow Broker.
What's this?
That's the old broker's VI assistant. It's actually been helpful with rebuilding the network.
Please let me know if I can organize anything else for you, Shadow Broker.
It also thinks anyone in the room is the broker. I'll play around with the settings later.
My manual is ready whenever you have a moment.
How are you doing, Liara?
I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. The Shadow Broker had more resources than you can imagine. Here, come on over. He had top-level access to the Turian and Asari governments. And more than once, Solarian Dalatros traded intel. At least I get to share it with you.
If you're in over your head, we could just crash this thing and walk away.
That's just it. In a way, I feel like I belong here. Working on my own, I was always hunting for leads. With the Shadow Broker's resources, it's about organizing, cataloging. I've got everything, Shepard. This is a dream job. Although, the location could be better.
You're not gonna turn into a recluse with creepy information on everyone in the galaxy, are you?
I can understand the temptation. I've got all the secrets of the galaxy at my fingertips. Give me 10 minutes and I could start a war. But I've got a purpose. Helping you stop the Reapers. That will keep me honest. You know, relatively speaking.
Have you found anything useful yet?
The Shadow Broker knew about the Reapers. Perhaps that's why he offered to help prove Saren's guilt to the Council.
He didn't want Saren to succeed.
He also knew that the Collectors were Protheans, repurposed to be Harbinger's puppets. There's even some data on the Protheans. I think he knew what was coming and was looking for a way to survive.
How's Farron doing?
As well as you'd expect, after 2 years of intermittent torture.
He gonna be okay?
I don't know. He wants to work, so I'm letting him help. Maybe it takes his mind off it.
So, you and Farron
are just friends. I believe you made it clear that I was, as you humans say, taken.
How'd you know what the Shadow Broker was?
I didn't. I had no idea what to expect when we finally found him. But I researched pre-spaceflight cultures during some of my Prothean studies. I know a bit about the Yogg. There's more on the terminals if you want to look. They're a fascinating culture, and a terrifying one.
Why was he still looking at Protheans? They gave us the warning in the conduit at Ilos, but we've used those.
The Shadow Brokers seemed to think there was more out there. Perhaps the Protheans had other plans. Or maybe he was just grasping at anything that offered some hope.
You know, I didn't come down here just to talk about data.
Look, about the kiss. We just finished the fight. I miss you, but it's been 2 years. I don't want to put pressure on you.
I've got fond memories of the last time you put pressure on me.
So do I.
Why don't you come to the Normandy for drinks?
I'd like that.
Good. Get your things and come on up.
Okay, thanks. I'll be right there. Just give me a minute.
Did you enjoy the tour?
Yes, it's a beautiful ship. And I ran into Joker. He seemed happy to see me. Although he did ask if you and I would be acting out scenes from some vid called Vanya.
Of course he did.
I also spoke with Dr. Chakwas. I'm glad she's doing well. I brought you something. It took some digging, but I recovered your tags.
I thought I'd never see these again.
You can't get back everything you lose, but sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah, that was the plan.
How are you actually doing, Shepard? I mean, really. Not what you tell your squad to keep morale up.
Honestly, I'm tired. Tired of dealing with Cerberus. Tired of the Council ignoring me. Tired of my closest friends not believing me.
Yes, I heard about what Kaidan said on Horizon. I'm sorry. But their short-sightedness doesn't diminish what you've accomplished. There wouldn't be a man, woman, or child left on Horizon, if not for you.
I saved some of them. Not enough. And the Collectors will keep hitting colonies until I stop them.
So you'll stop them?
And here I thought it'd be difficult.
You'll get the job done. You always do. I just don't know what comes next. So tell me what you want. If this all ends tomorrow, what happens to us?
I don't know. Marriage, old age, and a lot of little blue children.
You just say these things. Goddess, you were dead.
I got better.
This time, but you're going to leave again. When your team is ready, you'll leap through the Omega-4 relay. I spent 2 years mourning you. So if we're going to try this, I need to know you're always coming back.
I don't know. That's a pretty big promise to make.
Oh, is it?
I'd have to have something special to come back to.
I'm open to suggestions.
How about this?
Thank you, Shepard, for the drinks and everything.
Come back soon, Liara.
Commander, you might want to speak with Tally. She seems very worried about something.
Turian Council member's mistress has made some unusual purchases lately. She may be expecting to move to a larger mansion.
What is this console?
This is the video surveillance access point. I've queued up the archive footage you requested on your last visit, Shadow Broker. Aria Talok. Omega. Emily Wong, Citadel. Fred Mazai, Citadel. Donnell Udina, Citadel. Armando Bailey, Citadel. David Anderson, Citadel. Praetor Gavon, Omega. Kalisa bint Sinan Al-Jilani, Citadel. Keeper 20, Citadel. Matriarch Atheta, Ilium. Erdnot Torsk, Tachanka. Elias Kellum, Omega. Jacob Taylor, Normandy SR2. Subject 0, Purgatory, ship now defunct. Arya Talok, Omega. It's nearly time to repurchase effective caste status on Karshan. I have deducted funds to grant you full elite access.
Shepard, glad you stopped by. We don't get many visitors.
Take it easy. You've been through a lot.
You're probably right. I never did say thanks for the rescue.
Liara never gave up on you, Farron. I just helped.
I'm still amazed Liara came for me. I'll never forget what either of you did.
I can log that in the archives for you, sir.
I see you met the secretary.
For 2 years, Liara didn't stop looking for you. You two must have been close.
She's a good friend. Better than I deserve.
How you holding up, Farron?
I'll be alright. I wasn't always strapped into that interrogation chair. Drell can mentally escape into old memories. It came in handy on the bad days.
How many times did the Shadow Broker hook you up to that contraption?
A lot. It gets fuzzy. He made the guards watch, as an example.
What will you do now that you're a free man?
I want to help Liara rebuild this place. But after that...
Your schedule's getting full, sir. Let me sync it to your Omni tool.
No thanks, I'm fine.
How did you and Liara both end up looking for my body?
Cerberus headhunted me and Liara to steal your body from the Shadow Broker. I was working for the broker at the time, and he's the one who scraped up your remains in the first place.
turned you against the Shadow Broker?
He started working for the Collectors. You weren't their first victim. Was an information trader, not a slaver.
Looks like you've made a friend.
The drone follows everyone. I don't know why the broker kept it around.
I'm a shell for a specialized data processing VI, custom built to your specifications, Shadow Broker.
It helps coordinate the network's massive information feeds, but it could use a different interface tone.
You deemed my default personality sufficient for your needs, Shadow Broker.
I wish it would stop calling me that.
How do you think Liara's doing as the new Shadow Broker?
Operations are almost fully recovered after a slight dip in efficiency.
Ever since we repaired the network, Liara's been glued to the archives. I caught her sleeping at her desk more than once. She's busy, but I think she likes it that way.
Take it easy, Farron.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming by.
Commander, you might want to speak with me. I had a wonderful chat with your friend Tally. She's not what I expected from her psych report. I like her.
Tally's a good friend. We've been through a lot together.
Quarians are so fascinating to me. They also make me a little sad.
Why do they make you sad?
Their environment suits are so beautiful, but with their immune systems, they're trapped inside. I wonder what they look like under those helmets, or what their skin feels like under those suits.
Are you attracted to other species?
Well, part of my job is predicting the motives and feelings of humans and aliens. Intimacy brings understanding. And passion is nice wherever you find it. Character matters, not race or gender. Anything else, Commander?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
Commander.
I assume everything's going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's not as ready as she could be. There's always more we could upgrade. And as for the crew, you'd have to ask a people person.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Shepard, I'm glad you came by. I may need your help. I just received a message from the migrant fleet. The Admiralty Board has accused me of treason. I'm scared, Shepard.
What happens when a Quarian is accused of treason?
There's a hearing with members of the Admiralty Board acting as judges. My father is an admiral on the board. He'll have to recuse himself from judgment. I can't even imagine what he's thinking right now. The punishment for treason is exile. If they convict me, I can never go back.
Okay, let's go find the flotilla.
I was going to book passage on another ship. I didn't think there would be time for you to help. Thank you, Shepard. I'll program the Normandy with the flotilla's current location. The admirals will be waiting for us. Whenever we have time, I've gotten the migrant fleet's location.
Can you do anything to give the Normandy an edge over a collector ship?
Definitely. With the right supplies, I can fortify our shields. The collectors cut through the Normandy's barriers immediately last time. My upgrades might give us a better chance. Whenever we have time, I've gotten the migrant fleet's location.
Can you give me a rundown of
the Admiralty Board has... I'm scared. The punishment for treason. I'll program the
Kenneth, what has the new shielding done to your power grid balance?
Not much. With built-in capacitor subsystems, they have a surprisingly low draw.
Doesn't that mean the shielding boost wouldn't last long under fire?
True. They're built for hard, fast strikes, not firefights of attrition. What can we do for you, Commander?
Carry on.
Will do, Commander.
I need to get to Pragia, Shepard. Soon.
I'll think about that. Meanwhile, I have to go.
Yep.
Not just able to. And Uvink, I wanted to disembowel him, to tear out his spine like a trophy.
Can you focus that on our real enemy, or do I have to lock you up for the ship's safety?
I get it now. It's part of what I am. It was just delayed because of being tank-bred. Now that I know it's not an outside thing, and I have a place as a Krogan, I like it. Our enemies are in trouble, Shepard. And we better not run out of targets.
I need you to stay in line, Grunt. If you can't stay focused, you're a danger.
I'd never stab you in the back, Shepard. Warriors like you and me, straight to the face. Kidding. Shepard.
Just checking in. How are you doing?
Humans talk too much. Like the tank. Come back later.
What are your thoughts about our mission?
We'll push our enemies to the edge of space, then step on their fingers one at a time until the void takes them.
What do you think about the crew?
Good bunch if they stay out of my way. Dead bunch if they don't. Train them good if you want to take on collectors. Some of these aliens are too smooth.
Did O'Keir give you any imprints about the collectors?
You already know more than he did. O'Keir's is barely useful. If you fight them, hit them hard the first time.
That's all for now.
Shepard.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Do you have a minute, Miranda?
There's a lot to do, Shepard. Maybe another time.
I'll let you work.
Of course, Commander.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have you got a minute?
Sure, just killing time anyway. Optimizing weapons charges, planning attack vectors, you know, relaxing. I'm still trying to figure out how to prepare for this mission. Humans don't deal with stress the way Turians do.
Thanks for the talk, Garrus. I'll see you later.
Sure thing.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
If you wish.
The last time we talked, you started speaking about a past event as if you were watching it.
Drell have perfect memories. We can relive any moment in our lives with perfect clarity. It's difficult to control at times. Some of us disappear into, let's call it solipsism.
What do you mean, solipsism?
When a memory feels as real as life, it's as valid as life. Thinking about a moment brings back the smell of cut grass, the warmth of another's hand on yours, the taste of another's tongue in your mouth. Wouldn't you rather lose yourself in such a memory than spend the night alone, staring at walls of metal and plastic?
Isn't that a rather personal memory to talk about?
Forgive me. Lately I've spent a great deal of time reviewing my life. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
Isn't there a risk that you could lose yourself in bad memories as well?
Of course. Remembering the times I've taken bullets is unpleasant. But I can look at my knee and see it's not shattered. The memories that are hard to escape are those of despair.
You can remember everything that happened in your life?
Nearly. I expect if we remembered the birth trauma, we'd never recover from it.
You can relive every assassination you've ever made?
In perfect detail. Every mistake I made. Every target's last breath.
You don't seem to feel guilty.
Why should I? My employers killed them. My body was only the tool they used. If you kill a man with your gun, do you hold the gun responsible?
My gun can't decide right from wrong. You clearly do.
My soul does. But my body is merely flesh. Flesh whose reflexes were honed to kill. Drell minds are different from humans. We see our body as a vessel, and accept that it is not always under our control.
So if I shot you dead right now, a Drell court wouldn't convict me?
You'd be guilty because you chose to shoot me. If my reflexes caused me to draw and fire when I saw your gun come up, I would be innocent. Humans often believe in a soul distinct from the body. A spirit responsible for moral reasoning that lives on after the body's death. Our belief is just a bit more literal.
The last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations. Something about sunset-colored eyes?
That time. Laser dot trembles on the skull. Spice on the spring wind. Sunset eyes, defiant in the scope. A bystander noticed my spotting laser and threw herself between me and the target. She couldn't see me, but she stared me down.
It was odd that you just blurted that out. Just another vivid Drell memory?
No. She was a vivid person.
Did you take the shot?
Not that day.
The last time we talked,
That time, a bystander noticed my spotting laser and threw herself between.
Did you take the shot?
It
was odd that you just...
No. She was a vivid person.
I should get back to my duties.
Shepard, I appreciate these chats we have.
Haven't had a chance to speak to a Drell before. It's been fascinating.
I doubt many humans have. There are only a few 100,000 of us left after all. I won't keep you.
There is something I've wanted to tell you. I've done many things in my lifetime. I thought the galaxy held nothing new for me. Since joining you, I've realized how much more there is.
You must have seen many things in your years of travel.
As a maiden, I served as a mercenary. I fought tyrants and pirates. I experienced everything the galaxy has to offer. As a Justicar, I saw parts of Asari space few know about. I destroyed villages and saved cities. I even fought a Spectre.
Why did you fight a Spectre?
A Taurian named Nihilus. He may have been on council business, but I witnessed him kill an unarmed civilian. Following the code, I attacked.
Nihilus seemed like an honorable Turian, and a good Spectre.
He may have been. However, killing unarmed civilians is wrong.
How did the fight turn out?
I had the advantage, but he was good. He returned fire and tried to run. We played cat and mouse in the wilderness for 2 weeks. It was exhilarating. Finally, he created a situation in which my only options were to let an innocent die or pursue him. The code compelled me to save the innocent, and he escaped. I admire how he adapted and used my code against me.
When we met, I witnessed you kill a merc who had no chance against you.
That mercenary was armed, and I offered her a way out. She chose to ignore it.
What was being a mercenary like?
I was a young, impulsive maiden who discovered her talent for combat. I reveled in it, until the day my troop was hired to guard a mysterious shipment on its way to some clandestine drop-off area. I discovered the shipment was slaves, to be traded to the collectors for advanced technology.
I can't imagine you went along.
I demanded that we turn around. My mates disagreed. After they were dead, I brought the ship around. The collector craft was just arriving. They closed faster than I could flee. Fortunately, we were close to the mass relay. I got through, and they did not pursue.
What did you do with all the slaves?
I lectured them on the virtues of strength and defending oneself. Then I distributed the armor, weapons, and credits of my dead colleagues, and released the captives on the Citadel.
Why would you destroy an entire village?
I tracked Morinth to a remote colony world. She'd perverted an entire town, making them worship her and bring young Asari as sacrifices. When I arrived, she fled, throwing her minions at me in waves. They bought her time with their lives. When it was done, only small children remained. I left them in the authorities' care and continued my pursuit.
What have your years as a Justicar been like?
Mostly tedium and hardship. Traveling on freighters, wandering through rural areas, rooting out injustices big and small, putting down corrupt officials. When I arrive in a remote area, individuals often approach me with matters of justice. My judgment rarely turns out the way they hope.
How do you pay for transportation between worlds?
Asari captains often welcome Justicars. We reduce pirate attacks. One raid was called off when the pirates were able to verify that I was aboard.
We're not done with this yet.
I am sure. It will be my honor to be by your side at the end.
You think we're all gonna die?
You've assembled a powerful group, but we are fighting an unknown. I am ready for whatever comes, but I do not fool myself about our chances.
Our lives are secondary to completing the mission.
Agreed.
know, your discount is still good. And I'll let you know about any special items that might hold your interest.
What kind of special items are we talking about?
Oh, you know, schematics, designs. Nothing illegal, but...
I'll have a look around.
The people here are asked to sacrifice their own convictions and beliefs in exchange for a soulless corporate identity. I understand that kind of life would be attractive to some people, but not to me.
This should come in handy.
All right. Let's do it.
The Scandal Rock story of Nasana Dantius has come to a tragedy.
Of course,
You'll never believe what happened. I've got the data. Don't ask, just call it.
You can sell something that dangerous with just a contract and a waiver?
These are the Terminus systems.
It's just, we're looking for weapons. Shouldn't you be taking this seriously? Maybe a shirt. Or a card. Helium. Hey, you're blue shifting already. That's funny, right? Asari skin color and the Doppler effect? Eclipse might be fun for you. For me, it's the future. My clan's breeding strategy is at stake.
Pure bloods are a waste of genetic potential. That's how we get throwbacks like the Ardat Yakshi.
Hey, I don't like purebloods either, but that's going a little far.
Ah, yes, Samara the Justicar. I'll note your arrival in my log.
Do so.
Ah, yes, Samara the Justicar. I'll note your arrival in my log.
I don't know, that still sounds like an awful thing to legalize.
All the dangers are right there on the package. It's legally required.
Dead piling up? Perhaps you need to explore other options.
Hey, I gotta get back to work.
Thank you again. You have no idea what this means to my family.
I'm looking for the best tech upgrades you have.
Members of Eclipse mercenary band are facing tough questions after violence erupted at a gang-controlled warehouse. Local trader Pitney Ford decried the fighting as a danger to honest business.
So then he says, oh, it's okay. Our amino acids are all different. So it's not like we can get diseases or anything if we go natural.
I'm telling you, this is why you shouldn't date humans.
So then I had to explain about cross-species fluid contact. Completely killed the mood.
Not to mention that you're a Quarian. How could he be so insensitive?
Welcome back, babe. Can I get you anything? Sorry, no sex. Just cleaned the bar.
What's it like being in a sorry
Pretty
major?
much like being anything else. My parents had it more interesting than I did.
Thanks for telling me about that.
Pleasure as always.